The Edmonton Oilers will host the Pittsburgh Penguins down at Rogers Place tonight. A matchup, one that I had circled on my calendar for a month now. And a little bit of an anticlimactic starting goaltender matchup. But oh no, we still get Sidney Crosby versus Connor McDavid. Guess we'll just have to settle. The Oilers playing their third game out of an 8-game homestand before they get ready for the Olympics. Oilers, Penguins, McDavid versus Sid. Erik Karlsson now also confirmed to be in the lineup. Oh, there's star power galore out on the ice this evening. But hello, what up, and welcome to Pregaming with Bordzy, brought to you by Bet365, 19 plus. Please play responsibly because, say it with me, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Joined this evening by contributor here at Oilers Nation 1, Sean Panganiban, Bordzy, Pangsy, Brett C behind the scenes. Intern Tristan. He doesn't get a ZY on the end of his name just yet. You got to earn that. You got to work for that. Pangs, how we doing? I feel like I haven't seen you in like a couple weeks. Yeah. I miss you. And Pangs already kicking it off hot. Brought in not one, not two, 3 separate bags of chips for tonight's watching. Gonna be a good one.
Yeah, the vibes are really high. Starting with the chips. I got chirped last time for my chip selection by Lisa Evans, so I brought 3 pairs. Vibes are high tonight. Kind of the return of Stuart Skinner, but not quite. I was really hoping that we'd have the battle of the netminders there with Jarry and Skinner, but hey, it's still going to be a great game tonight here.
I have to settle for just focusing on Sidney Crosby versus Connor McDavid. It's an embarrassment of riches, embarrassment of storylines heading into this one. That's why I'm happy you chose to pregame with Bordzy. Also, should say we're on the eve of the Jasper Pond Hockey Tournament going down all weekend long. Most of Oilers Nation, they took off this afternoon. They're out there. I saw Waz is drinking espresso martinis down at a restaurant right now. I'll be sure to update you guys on Saturday of all the ridiculous things that Waz does this weekend, because you bring Waz out into a public place, maybe a place like the JPL, you're always going to get good content. I was just telling the boys, explaining Waz to NHL goaltender, former goaltender Carter Hutton earlier today. I said, brother, you just got to experience it for yourself. Waz is a good hang. I'm very excited for this weekend.
Might have been the most difficult system he ever had to learn. Like he would have had to sit there and go, okay, yeah, no, I won't mention roundabouts to Waz.
this guy for real, but no, going to be a good time all weekend long. I'm rooming with Reese, producer of The Sauce, me, Reese, Ryder, Lisa. We're all in our own cabin. Should be awesome. We'll be playing out on Lake Mildred, doing some good content, I'm assuming, here as well. I have been, I think, selected to be mic'd up out there on the ice, where I'm not going to focus on my play. I'm going to focus on the entertainment value, the content. Maybe I can find a way to trip Johnny Lazarus, former D1 player out there, but should be a very good weekend. I am excited for it. And then Sunday, we've got the New England Patriots, who need to lock in and book their ticket to the Super Bowl. So I'm booked up. You're still going to get your pre and post game on Saturday live from the JPL. Before we talk anything about hockey tonight, I do want to bring one thing in, Brett. I'm pretty sure I left it in the back of our graphics there, but there was news. I've recently mentioned I went to the NLL game on Friday night last weekend, and I had an absolute blast. Georgia Swarm versus the Calgary Roughnecks. I used to have season seats to the Edmonton Rush back since 2006. It's the best, most entertaining, most affordable sporting event you could get in Edmonton. And I said I wanted to start a petition to bring the NLL back to Edmonton. Folks, that might be happening, because we had a tweet that kind of went around earlier today. Dawson Nielsen, Brett's fist pumping behind the scenes. I know this is a hockey show, but damn it, we all need to get back into the National Lacrosse League. So the unboxed game is what they called it. Also bet on the Georgia Swarm, bet on over 21.5 total goals. Cash both. Any sport that has 22 goals scored, come on, I want to be a part of that. But they had minimal advertising. 7,000 people attended. Booze was still incredibly expensive, so I know that they made their money there. It was unbelievable, and I want to know in the chat, be honest with me. Would you guys actually go to it can't be the Edmonton Rush anymore.
I know. I was thinking about that. I wonder what they'd do.
Bring him back. Bring Jimmy Quinlan back to coach the squad.
You want to start?
Should we coach
Rush Nation?
Rush. Oh my God, I would love to.
Done. Let's do it.
Oh, Lax is the best. Pangs, did you ever go to an Edmonton Rush game?
You know what? Admittedly, I did not. I was always, and you know what? It's one of those things. Once it's on,
I know.
I really should have took advantage of it. Now that it's not here, I'm like, I really wish I should have went. Like, what more can you ask for? Fights, I'd imagine the tickets weren't as expensive as Oilers games. Right?
I also had season tickets from day one till the final day. I sat there and cried as Chris Corbeil lifted the NLL championship. I told you the story about how Paul Rabel was my most hated athlete for a long time. Ethan Iannucci wouldn't come play in Edmonton. Brody Merrill would, though. Gavin Prout would, though.
Jimmy Quinlan.
Jimmy Quinlan. And hey, Matthews. Mark Matthews is unbelievable, baby.
Yeah, those are good times. Good times. It's, once again, I went on Friday. I sat row 3 for a very cheap price. Now, during warm-up, when there's no netting right there, and you got lacrosse balls flying around all over the fucking place, dude, it was, keep your head on a swivel, folks. But yeah, I see some people in here. Dave, yes, all capitals, exclamation marks, that he would go. I also, like Lance said, the rush every day with your host, Bordzy and Bread. Some tells me we might not get as much viewership for the Edmonton Rush, but damn it, I don't care. It also reminds me to get caught up into the chat, see what all the fine folks in here are thinking. There was some confusion earlier on this afternoon with this show. I had Austin DM me, people in the chat, expecting a 3-hour pre-gaming with Bordzy. Folks, I got other stuff to do, all right? Granted, I watched Curb Your Enthusiasm for like an hour and a half earlier this afternoon. Time well spent, if you ask me. Brett, explain to the folks what happened.
Yeah, so yesterday, Bordzy and I spent the whole afternoon setting up our new computer.
That's a fresh new CPU right there,
brand new computer. So we had to set everything up brand new, all that. And I came in today and I noticed, what the hell? It's not 4 o'clock, but whatever. And I set up the live, and I set up for 6 o'clock as it says on my computer, and leave it be. Went on to do the other stuff that I needed to do. And then, as Aaron says, why is
I don't have 3 hours prepared.
No, absolutely not. As you shouldn't. This computer is set on Eastern time. And so since it says 6 o'clock as it does on
the
computer.
It happens.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I saw that the one time I sat on my couch,
you're late.
Got off work, put on my laptop, and I'm just reviewing stuff, and I'm like, oh my god, it's starting soon. And I had to do a double check, but we're good. We're good.
Yeah, I don't know. So a little bit of miscommunication there. Granted, we could fill 3 hours. We could find it. Would probably get pretty nonsensical, but when does it not? Austin's in, kicking it off. Bordzy, you know the drill. Fire up this fucking band, baby. The rest of you, vibe check, pulse check, bevies check. Let's go. Cup, yeah.
Cup, yeah.
Hope will never die. And then Oil and Blue said, I'm here, I'm queer. LFG. Let's go. We all pull for the Edmonton Oilers. Dre's in with a simple, let's fucking go, boys. Woo! Cup, yeah.
Cup, yeah.
Amanda did say 4 p.m. pre-gaming. Doesn't the game start at 7? I am confused. Our bad. Southpaw, simple man. Cup, yeah.
Cup, yeah.
Fighting Amish said, hey, ho, let's go. Hey, ho, let's go. No. I feel that. Lance Kane also said, I hate how much I relate to Larry David in that show. The older I get, the more sense Larry David makes with the man's got no time for anything, and I respect the shit out of it. Seinfeld, better show. Curb Your Enthusiasm, funnier show. Lance, do you agree with that statement? I am curious. First things first, talk about the Edmonton Oilers. We do need to talk about Tuesday's game against the New Jersey Devils. They're obviously coming off a loss. They fall 2-1 to those Devils. The Oilers, I mean, you could say they started the night kind of shorthanded. Yes, they had 18 skaters, the 11 and 7 formation. Obviously, does not help you when you start the game with 11 forwards and then lose one of them, a top line guy in Vasily Podkolzin, for 17 minutes. Now, Connor McDavid receives a high hit, a clean hit, I thought. But that doesn't matter, Sean Panganiban. It's Vasily Podkolzin. Auto shed, brother. Those gloves were off instantly coming in to defend his captain. I got no problem with the fight. Hey, the 10 minutes, it is what it is. The 2 minutes for instigating, I don't care, Pods. You should have done what you did, and I'm very happy about it. But it then forced the Edmonton Oilers to play with 10 forwards for 17 minutes of the hockey game, and they just didn't have it. Felt like from the get-go, you could really tell that, oh, yeah, if you watch the Edmonton Oilers, you know when you know, and they did not have it on Tuesday night. They were fumbling passes, passing up shots, nothing new for the Edmonton Oilers much this season. And then suddenly, The third period comes around and they wake the fuck up and they had urgency all of a sudden, the team that we know and love, but it was the classic case of too little too late from the Edmonton Oilers, and they fail to win 3 games in a row for the 9th time this season. We put up a meme earlier in the week. We stand corrected. The Oilers and the St. Louis Blues are the 2 teams that have yet to win 3 games in a row. Rope them in with us. It's not just the Edmonton Oilers. But Pangs, at this point, I argue you just have to sit back and laugh. It cannot be explained. It doesn't make sense. But the Oilers sit here in a pretty good spot, second in the Pacific Division, comfortably in a playoff spot. You don't need to go on long winning streaks to win the Stanley Cup. It would be nice. And for confidence building, and just at this point, it is comical. I laugh at it, but maybe double digits is the opportunity the Oilers can do it. I'm curious your thoughts on Tuesday night's effort and then this weird bugaboo that they cannot win 3 games in a row.
Yeah, after last game's performance, the 2 questions that immediately stuck out to me were, where did they party after Ryan Nugent-Hopkins' 1,000th game? And were they still hungover?
Because and why is Calvin Pickard still on the roster?
3 questions. 3 questions. Yeah, it was one of those things where you like you said, you know when the Oilers have the jump, they really did not have jump. And a funny thing, it was like 12 minutes to go in the first period and the shots were 1-1. We're like, well, you got a barn burner, boys, tonight. So you knew you're in for kind of a snooze fest.
What a night to have an 8:20 puck drop too for that fucking hockey game.
Yeah, no kidding. It was late and it was kind of boring 40 minutes. But I mean, I guess if we're looking for a silver lining, they did turn it up in the last 20 minutes there. But hey, if they would have even given 45 minutes of full-fledged hockey, we would probably be looking at a W.
We would be, because once again, positive spin zone here from the boards man. The boards man always gets paid. The Oilers defensively, another game, they only allow 2 goals against. And if you back it up, the last 4 games, the Oilers have only allowed 3 against. Brett, what was the numbers for the organization as well?
I believe if my numbers are correct, which I went to art school, so they will be, they had the organization allowed 3 total goals since the weekend. Because Connor Unger, another shutout yesterday.
Matt Tompkins,
not Connor Unger.
Sherwood Park's own, baby.
Right on.
See him at local Sherwood all the time. Pangs, you're a Park man yourself.
I do live in Sherwood
Best
Park.
of the best. Liam Horban, we love you as well. But defensively, they've been pretty dialed in. And I think overall, still with the inability to put 3 W's together in a row. The Oilers are sitting in a pretty good spot, and Chris Knobloch spoke to the media earlier this morning talking about his team's effort over the last little stretch. Let's take a listen.
I think the last 7, 8 games, actually, if you even go back before that, I think looking at, usually expected goals gives you a good indication of how you're playing, and I think it's, we look back about 15 games, I think 2 of them expected goals were outplayed. Other than that, we've been outplaying the other team. And not that that's always the indication of winning and losing, but it gives you a good idea of, are you doing more good than bad? And I think, over that last month, there's been more good. So we got to continue doing that. Now just finding ways we can win games. And that's whether it's those little things, 1 less turnover, 1 less penalty against, or just putting the puck in the net. But overall, I like what we've been doing.
Big win for the analytics community right there, mentioning that Chris Knobloch uses expected goals for percentage. I didn't have the heart to tell our own Zach Lang, the analytics king, the darling, what Nobby said today, because he's going to get that on a video frame in his house somewhere talking about expected goals for. But you agree with Chris Knobloch overall, and like Lance says it here, winning the 3 in a row is overrated. That's what the media wants you to do. Going 2-1 repeatedly is way harder, way more punk rock. The Oilers are not sellouts. Love that spin zone punk rock there from Lance. But yeah, at the end of the day, it isn't as simple as they're always winning 2 and then losing the 3rd. There are going to be losing stretches here and there, but thoroughly, it's just a weird stat. The Oilers are in a really good spot right now, Pangs.
Yeah, and I would say, like, overall as a whole, if you kind of take a look at their body work in like the last month, they're playing pretty darn well.
Très bien.
And I like, you know what, I'll say before I started writing, wasn't a big analytics guy, but now that I'm writing, I really look for the expected goals for. And what it does, it just shows that the ice is tilting in the Oilers' favor, or when a player is out there and their expected goals for is in like the 70s, 80s, 90s, you know that they're doing some positive things out there. So for the Oilers as a whole, it's good that their expected goals for is high, but hey, tonight we want actual goals.
I want some real goals.
I'm a big expected goals for and goals against per 60 guy, because I think that's very similar, where it's just telling you, hey, if you played 60 minutes, and I know that's unrealistic, but that's how long a hockey game is, this person is contributing this many goals or is allowing this many goals. I think, again, it's a very similar stat, but it's just very much this is what's going on when this person's on.
I love using it for reference, where I will only mention it if it supports my eye test. You've probably noticed that before on the show. Points when I look at even like the analytics deserved a win-o-meter. I need to know what the actual numbers are in on that thing, because I only use it when it supports my argument. Also, Lisa's in from the sauce and said, Bordzy and Pangs, two beauties.
What up?
Lisa, he brought in multiple bags of chips this evening. So Pangs heard your criticism loud and clear. Oilers Blue said, quote, oh shit, I'm missing my thingy. My stoned ass just now. And then Dank Daddy, who I could assume is feeling the same, said, you should put Nurse on the wing instead of Regula. Always said Nurse would be a better winger.
No, Bouchard. Has to be Bouchard.
We're not. Unless it's Calvin Pickard playing 3C. I'm not down for any of this. I'm willing to give that a go. We'll put him out at the Pond Hockey tournament first to see where he's at. So then tonight brings me to the matchup. It's a game, like I said, I feel like everybody had circled on their calendars. Well, since the Oilers made the trade with the Pittsburgh Penguins. The day they sent that deal, Skinner out the door, local boy Brett Kulak out the door for Tristan Jarry. It was on from there. These two will be tied at the hip for the rest of their careers, whether they like it or not. And I'd argue this trade is thoroughly worked out for both sides. It has really been a win-win. Tristan Jarry, even though he got banged up, missed some time there, has really come in, settled in nicely, consistently, pretty much above 900 performances here, and just solidified the position in the crease, now battling with one Connor Ingram, who has done much of the same. And on the flip side, for one Stuart Skinner, he struggled a little bit out of the gates with the Penguins as he's getting settled in Pittsburgh, and then lately has been unbelievable. Once again, he will not start tonight for the Pittsburgh Penguins. He played last night, got the dub, stopped 19 of 20 against the Calgary Flames. It will be Arturs Silovs tonight for the Pittsburgh Penguins, which is a bit of a surprise because, I mean, maybe not the Penguins one, but the Jarry one. He started Tuesday night against the Devils, and it does kind of feel like we've got a bit of a 50-50 split here between Jarry and one Connor Ingram. Maybe at the end of the day, it's just a question for maybe even the Pittsburgh coach asked Stuart Skinner, hey, do you want the Calgary game or do you want the Edmonton game? And maybe Tristan Jarry wanted the one against his former teammates a little bit more. I'm curious, Pangs, how did you feel when it came down the news that we weren't going to get the head-to-head matchup between the two? Because, I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It's all just window dressing. But damn it, it gives us a storyline to talk about, and one that I was very excited to watch.
Yeah, I immediately thought the Pittsburgh Penguins, more like the Pittsburgh Party Poopers.
Cowards.
They could have gave us a really big storyline in Stuart Skinner facing his old team, coming to the old barn. But yeah, Stuart Skinner, as you mentioned, he's been tremendous for them. Hats off to him. If you take a look at my writing, I've always been a big supporter of Stuart Skinner. You can't deny the guy took us to 2 back-to-back Stanley Cup finals. He had some bad games. He had some deflating goals, but overall, he seems like a nice human being, and good for him that he's doing well with the Penguins. Unfortunate, he's not in the lineup tonight.
You could never, ever make me hate Stuart Skinner. Once again, I will say, after years of banging the drum of Stuart Skinner, he's the guy. He's the future here for the Edmonton Oilers in the crease. Month in of Stuart Skinnerless hockey here for the Oilers, and all of a sudden the crease seems pretty solidified. I'm pretty confident all of a sudden. So hand up accountability. Might have been wrong, but there you saw some of the numbers for Stu. That's why it's just a win-win situation in general. I forget the fellow's name, but he was on the big program, Kevin Carrier's program this morning. He's from The Athletic, and he was talking about that. Dude, it needed to happen for Tristan Jarry. Paraphrasing him, he said, Jarry, skill-wise, could be a top 10 goaltender in the NHL. His days in Pittsburgh were just numbered, and I feel like that's the same situation for one Stuart Skinner, because skill-wise, he's got the body. He could do it all. It's just a matter of putting it all together, which he has done lately for the Penguins. So he's not going to play. He will still be on the bench. Brett Kulak will also play tonight for the Pittsburgh Penguins as he continues to be forgotten in this situation. Not by me, damn it. But it brings me to the question, or we did get some inside information. Shout out producer Brett behind the scenes. We believe there will be a video tribute for both Stuart Skinner and Brett Kulak tonight at Rogers Place. Regardless of what you think of Stuart Skinner's tenure in Edmonton, is he responsible for them losing the Stanley Cup? Is he responsible for getting there? He was a big part of back-to-back runs and years with the Oilers. I always made the argument, you're not actually mad at Stuart Skinner. You're mad at Jack Campbell because Stuart Skinner shouldn't have been in that 1A role until right about now at this point in his NHL career. I appreciate what he did for the Oilers. He's obviously a local boy, much like Brett Kulak, as they both got to live every kid's dream. I used to strap on the rollerblades in my basement and imagine scoring a big goal or maybe even playing. No, I'm not a weirdo. I never wanted to be a goalie. That's a lie. But Pangs, totally deserved of a video tribute for both of them. We believe they are going to combine it more efficient that way. But two local boys that, damn it, I will never hate and I will always love them.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just like for both players, well, maybe not for both players, but for Skinner, it was time to leave. It's just, I think the pressure of the city, local boy, weighed on him. And I think mentally it was just time to go. And Brett Kulak, just steady from what we know for the most part up until this year in the regular season. And talk about battling in the playoffs. He's a player that raised his battle level tenfold in the playoffs. Last season, he played the second most minutes in the playoffs for the Edmonton Oilers. And just the last two runs amongst that team with the Oilers, the camaraderie built, the memories built. Those two, Stuart Skinner, Brett Kulak, they deserve a video tribute.
Oh, absolutely. Brett Kulak, I like this one from Sergeant Battle. Intern Tristan. He's in and he said, quote, big Skinner playoff save followed by glassing out from Brett Kulak. But that was the type of player, or is the type of player that Brett Kulak still is. It's not fancy. It doesn't show up all over the place. He's been a godsend for the Pittsburgh Penguins since he joined us. Carlson went down with injury. Chris Letang has gone down with injury. Brett Kulak last week played over 25 minutes against the Tampa Bay Lightning, which we as Oilers fans fully know he's capable of doing. We didn't even mention the Iron Man streak that he's had for the last several seasons, has yet to miss a game. But yeah, the chat, Jeremy Lebrecq, I think this is fair. Our hometown boy love blinded us to how bad Stu got, but I hope the best for him in Pittsburgh. Dave said, Skinner's just on one of his hot streaks. Oilers fans know they don't last long. Most of his hot streaks did come in January as well, so you're not totally off on that one, but we'll see. And then Oil and Blue. I don't miss Skinner like I thought I would, but it's so great to see him doing well in his new aquarium. I like that play on Penguins. The chat be clever. I just thoroughly think Stu, he deserves it. And once again, do not be that asshole in the crowd that's booing and hissing. Just give it to him. And then I think after this, we as fans, like this is the official. We already played the Penguins once, but he was in Pittsburgh. This is the closing of the chapter, turning the page and moving on to winning the Stanley Cup, because that's what the MO is. As for tonight, the Oilers lineup going 11-7 yet again. Once again, Leon Draisaitl not going to return to the lineup for the Edmonton Oilers. And then Kasperi Kapanen, he will not be out there as well. So, Bangs, I want to have the three goaltender discussion. As I kind of slipped it in there a little bit earlier, the Oilers, once again, going with 11 forwards. Alec Regula will be the seventh defenseman. So on Tuesday's game, Regula played a whopping 2 minutes and 35 seconds. Probably the least mistakes he's made in an Edmonton Oilers jersey in a full NHL game. So attaboy, baby steps, 2-1 Alec Regula. My question to you is that are you picking up what I'm laying down here? It is absolutely ridiculous that the Oilers have three goaltenders on the active roster at any point, but especially when the two goaltenders are playing as well as they are. And I've made the argument, the chat has heard me say this aplenty, that sure, I get goaltender insurance, Tristan Jarry, injury prone, whatever, Connor Ingram still working his way back into NHL form and NHL shape. Yeah, one of them could get injured. But the Oilers are already injured and banged up in the forward group, playing down a forward, where we saw on Tuesday night, you get in a scrap, Pods in the box for 17 minutes. Just like that, you're down to 10 forwards, and I don't get it. It's an exhausted discussion. Do you agree that maybe Leon should be back soon enough? So I guess that they're just trying to weather the storm until then. But the argument I make, they lost to the New Jersey Devils, a very winnable game, a winnable spot to get 2 points in January, where the Oilers got a lot of winnable games on home ice and need to create that distance in the Pacific Division standings. Here we are playing, once again, not down a man. Regula was out there to keep this guy up in the press box.
Yeah, I just don't get it. And on one side, it's Calvin Pickard. He's not playing. I don't anticipate him to play up until the Olympic break. And right now you have kind of a grumpy Calvin Pickard. There was an article where he says he's kind of not happy. He doesn't like it. So I don't know. I kind of, for me, I wonder what that even does in the room and if there's any sourness there. But I think I want to ask you this. I mean, the boys love him. Connor McDavid, it seems like by all accounts, they love Calvin Pickard. Do you think they're keeping him around for that reason too?
I call him the official vibes officer of the Edmonton Oilers now. So yes, I do entirely think that. And once again, we had Carter Hutton on Oilers Nation every day today. Former NHL goaltender, has been in that very similar spot. And he was talking about how being a good teammate, having a good personality, being a guy that the other guys want to be around, single-handedly extended his career for another season or two, was why he got a contract in Arizona, and that stuff does matter. It's just at the end of the day, if it becomes a detriment on the ice, and it is what it is. OJ's in here, and he said, if it's exhausted, why do we have to bring it up every single show? Because it's going to be a storyline when the Oilers go 11-7. I also have revolving door of co-hosts, so I would like to hear some of their opinions. Is that okay, OJ? Is that okay? You host your show how you do yours, and I'll do mine. Just kidding. Just kidding, brother. I love you. 11-7, Brett. You want to throw it up what they're actually going to do tonight in the lineup, because there is some small tinkers from Tuesday night's lineup. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins back on the top line with McDavid and one Zachary Martin-Hyman. Your second line is basically just your third line, but bumped up a little bit. It's going to be the Iceman with Uncle Jack Roslovic and Matt Savoy. Your third line, in quotations I'm putting there, I think of that as your fourth, Janmark, Curtis Lazar, and Andrew Mangiapane. And then you see Vasily Podkolzin and Frederick. And don't fret, Regula, while he did take reps at forward earlier today in line rushes, he will be the seventh defenseman for the Edmonton Oilers.
Maybe some late breaking news.
Oh, God.
I'm not sure, but they just showed footage inside Rogers right now, inside the dressing room. And one Leon Draisaitl was getting changed. So this could be old B-roll footage, but once somebody...
Who posted this?
Nobody. This is just word from inside the rink. However, once one person responded in a certain way, it seems kind of interesting. So something to watch for in warm-ups.
You giving out your personal group chat inside info right now?
No, I did not even do that until you said that. But they did roll footage, so people inside the rink would have seen it already. But this is just something to watch out for once warm-ups get started.
Oh, baby.
Snap.
Jack Michaels 33 seconds ago.
Oh, snap.
Leon Draisaitl will play tonight for the Edmonton Oilers.
Was that before Jack?
You might have been. Well, you were actually probably like 4 seconds ahead of Jack right there.
Well, I was messaging in the chat saying, hey, this might be going on. Just give me a second.
Attaboy. Yep, your boy Brandon Escott also with it as well. Let's fucking go as I see OJ Gaze in the chat. K. Waddy. Yep, Leon Draisaitl expected to return for the Edmonton Oilers. Is he jet lagged? How jet lagged is he? I don't care. He'll be good to go. He's Leon Draisaitl. I'd take him at 50% instead of no Leon Draisaitl. Well, that is some unbelievable late breaking news. So maybe we'll keep it locked here for a second. Just wait until we get actual confirmation on line rushes as they get out there. Sorry, Reg, no forward for you tonight, buddy. That stinks. That's
Regula, Leon Draisaitl. I don't know.
Who knows? Let's go now. Need to know information courtesy of Wilhauk Beef Jerky. Only the finest tasting meat products earn the Wilhauk name, made from 100% Alberta beef. Their jerky is aged, seasoned, marinated, and smoked to savory perfection. They gladly fill orders of any size, and you can find their jerky, sausage, and other products out of their Leduc location. Or for more information, head on over to willhawkbeefjerky.com to get yo jerky on. I like Plies said the German Gretzky is back. Soggy Corpse, cue the music. Break the stone cold music. Yeah, that would be an unbelievable way if they were to do this. Then also he comes out with an RKO out of nowhere. For the Oilers, they have won 8 of their last 9 against the Pittsburgh Penguins, dating back to the start of the 2021-2022 season. Now, this one was a note. I saw it on the Oilers game notes. They tweeted it out on X.com, the everything app. And they said, this is the theme here for the Oilers. Score first. Edmonton has not lost in regulation in 20 straight games when they score the first goal of the game. And you could kind of feel that in the New Jersey game. Obviously, they were slow as shit to start that one. I think they had 4 shots on goal in the opening 20 minutes. So an emphasis tonight coming out of the gates hot against the team on the second half of a back-to-back, which is also going to be a theme for very much this week. Tristan Jarry, he gets the start for the Edmonton Oilers. And then Kasperi Kapanen, so he was out for optional skate earlier on this morning. He's not expected back. Brett, I did bring in a little clip here. It's very short, and it's Chris Knobloch with an injury update for the Oilers regarding Leon Draisaitl and Kasperi Kapanen. And to which now I realize he was lying to me the entire time. Brett, let's take a listen.
Any new update on Kapanen? He's on the ice this morning?
He's on the ice. Very doubtful today, and we'd be fortunate to have him on playing Saturday, but maybe sometime next week.
For Leon, are you still thinking that it's becoming later in the week? Do you think he could play tonight or more Saturday?
More likely later, yes.
He was lying. Did he know he was on a flight? Technically, this is later. It is later from when he did that interview, but now I like it when you lie to me, because that was an awesome little surprise we got right there. On the other side of your need to know for the Pittsburgh Penguins, 24-14-11 record, second in the Metropolitan Division, tied with the New York Islanders, 59 points in 49 games. There you get a look at their head-to-head. I mentioned this on Oilers Nation every day earlier today. These Pens, and those 4 stats that you see on the screen right now, they rank 12th in the NHL in total goals for, 9th in goals allowed, 3rd on the power play, 5th on the PK. They're the only other team besides the Chicago Blackhawks to be top 10 in both special teams units, power play and penalty kill. And look at that record, 24-14-11. They have been a little bit king of the loser point this season, but they're sitting in a pretty comfortable spot. And don't look now, Pangs. This might be a different Penguins team than what we have seen in previous seasons. The way I think for the last several years of the Crosby-Malkin duo is playoff bubble type team trying to get in, and then who knows how they're going to do when they get into the dance. But dude, you look at those numbers overall, and they are healthily in a playoff spot. They also really benefit that it's them, Carolina Hurricanes, Penguins, Islanders tied at 59 points. And there is a significant drop-off to the next Metropolitan team in the Philadelphia Flyers. I believe they're 5 points back. So the Penguins sitting pretty. Sidney Crosby, obviously, having an unbelievable season. 26 goals, 30 apples, 55 points. Brett, I think we have the graphic of the dynamic duo here. But the other guy, Evgeny Malkin, he's dealt with injuries this season, but is a point-per-game player. 37 points in 34 games. He's found a way to be productive. Malkin actually scored last night against the Flames, where the Pens are coming off of a win last night. And yeah, combine this. We'll get into some of their depth players later on, or maybe you have the numbers right there as well. Combine it all with now solid goaltending from one Stuart Skinner. And this Penguins team they're playoff bound, knock on wood, but they're a solid squad. Can't be taken lightly.
Yeah, he took the words right out of my mouth. Looking at their stats, the PK, the power play, you can't take this team lightly. And you talk about their depth, just looking up and down their lineup. Like, you got Anthony Mantha, 14 goals, Justin Brazeau, 14 goals. And in the last 10 games, the person who has the most goals is not Sidney Crosby. It is not Evgeny Malkin. It is Connor Dewar with 5 goals in the last 10 games, leading the Penguins. So their depth is showing up.
It's a little bit of a surprise, but keep them going. Once again, Brian Rust, he's still consistent. He has 18 goals. Carlson having a much better season this year, has been banged up for the last week or so, but is expected to return to the lineup. However, you got a tough situation going over there. Erik Karlsson, he's been in dominating PP one-time minutes. He goes down with an injury. Chris Letang comes into that PP1 spot in the role of the number one D-man. And Letang has had a down year for his standards, but all of a sudden when he gets back into that role, he's been on an upswing. Unfortunately, he got banged up Monday night against the Seattle Kraken and is not expected to play tonight, did not play last night against the Flames. So a little bit of a revolving door there between their two elder statesmen on the back end. And then finally, Arturs Silovs. He is going to start for the Pittsburgh Penguins, 8-6-8 record. He himself has 8 overtime or shootout losses, 3.05 goals against average with an .892 save percentage. Oilers fans at one point were clamoring for a Skinner-Silovs duo. Well, move over to the Pittsburgh Penguins if you want to cheer for those two, because they just usurped it, took it right from Oilers fans. Let's go now. Home team lineup brought to you by Oodle Noodle. Download the app today. You can earn loyalty rewards points when you do so. Sign up, and then you can take advantage of their many deals. They do awesome things for charities and kids playing sports in the community. But the $2 deal, baby, for $2 extra on top of any premium or regular box, you can add 2 green onion cakes, 5 spring rolls, or 6 deep fried wontons. I ordered Oodle Noodle last night. I have some leftovers in my fridge right now, and I'm going to go home at around midnight. Oh, you know I'm scraping some of that down, and that's the key. I did the $2 2 green onion cakes. I had half the box yesterday with 1 green onion cake. Tonight, half the box with another green onion cake. Pangs, I got this shit down like to a science.
What a hack. Wow.
I'm ready to go. So, Brett, did you get it? Oh, by chance? Nice, we do. So this is the confirmed lineup for the Edmonton Oilers. There you see him, baby. He's back. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Connor McDavid, and Zach Hyman on the top line. Your second line, everything's back. Pods with Leon Draisaitl and Jack Roslovic. So we know Kapanen not expected to return this week. So Uncle Jack gets that spot. And now it'll be Uncle Freddie and the kids with Ike Howard and Matt Savoy on the third line. Trent Frederick moving to play the 3C role. Your fourth line, Mangiapane, Curtis Lazar, and Matthias Janmark. Where that fourth line, it's really just been Lazar and Janmark. We've seen Freddie being at that spot, but dude, they have been solid. Energy plus shifts, I would say, for the Edmonton Oilers. Talk Nobby, expected goals for. That fourth line, they have been positive in that category. And then your deep pairings, Ekholm with Bush, Nurse with Ty Emberson, Jake Wallman with one Spencer Stastny. I did give the jeans out to Darnell Nurse and Ty Emberson as a pairing on Tuesday's game against the Devils. I thought they were absolutely dreadful, but they got an opportunity here to turn it around. So first things first, Leon Draisaitl back in the lineup. Obviously, a huge boost for the Edmonton Oilers, and he'll be back in that spot with Podkolzin. We saw earlier today from line rushers, people freaking out because Pods was listed on the fourth line, where I say, people, you're either new here or you're just not seasoned enough on one Chris Knobloch's. Depth charts are simply just recommendations. Also, that fourth line duo of Pods, you just imagine they'd run with McDavid, Nuge, or Zach Hyman, depending where Freddie, if he was playing wing or the center. But we don't got to deal with any of that. Pods is right back in his rightful spot next to Leon Draisaitl. And you go back to earlier this season. Remember Jack Roslovic's run on that second line? He was unbelievable, above a point per game until he got banged up. And yes, he's been productive in this other role, playing 3C with the kids. But this one right now tonight, you feel like he's jumping into a very opportunistic role, which frankly has me second guessing Bordzy's bankroll, and I might be messing with it in the next 5-10 minutes.
Yeah, Jack Roslovic, in his little stint that he had playing down the middle, I did not mind his game. He picked up nice rebounds, transported the puck in the neutral zone, and he was shooting when he got the puck. That being said, I think Jack Roslovic, everybody knows this, Jack Roslovic has a good shot. He likes to shoot. You got a passer in Leon Draisaitl who, hey, he might be a little bit jet-lagged after coming in from Germany, so he might be willing to dish the puck tonight. I think Jack Roslovic on the right side, on the second line, that is the rightful spot. It'll be interesting to see what Trent Frederick does on that third line. Over the last few games, he's been trending upward. Tough game last game, but it'll be interesting to see what he can do in that third line between the youngsters there.
I like everything you just said about Jack Roslovic and his affection for shooting the puck. Because Brett, I may have just made a change to one Bordzy's bankroll in that regard. So, yep, if you want to bring that in for me in about 10 minutes time, that would be lovely. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. And then I guess final thing, I like you mentioned Trent Frederick, which, hey man, he's been kind of pigeonholed this season into that fourth line grinder on the wing role. We saw him. There's been some injuries. He's been given more opportunity. And he's earned a little bit more ice time here for the Edmonton Oilers. And we discussed throughout much of this season, the only way Freddie is going to get more opportunity was to commit to that energy, bang bodies, getting some scraps type thing. And here we are, possibly on the up, now playing a 3C role higher up the lineup. And hopefully he continue to build on this one. And let's ride, baby. Freddie, we love you. Not just because we're stuck with you, even though that's part of it. But damn it, I believe that there is a player in there, and we're basically getting around to about 365 days-ish territory of Freddie time. Maybe that'll be when he can finally start to figure it out. And then the other pods, I just love his game. What was going through your mind when you saw him throw down those mitts on auto shed almost immediately? I'm sure his skills coach was thrilled to see. And don't you have an interview booked again?
I do. I have an interview. I have a coffee date with Ned Lukasevic, Vasily Podkolzin over Zoom. Vasily Podkolzin's skills coach tomorrow, 9:15, 8:15 BC time. We're going to be chatting about Podkolzin the last few games. He's so stoked. He's so amped up with Pod scoring 2 games in a row. And then, we were chatting about when he shed the mitts there. For me, I had to rewind that like 4 times and be like, oh my God, he didn't even hesitate. And I make the joke, what's that when in Rocky was like, if he dies, he dies, right? I kind of feel like maybe that ran through Podkolzin's head when he said, no one touches my captain, didn't even blink an eye. So Podsy, we know it. You guys know it. Just a lovable guy. He's producing, he's fighting, he's just making an impact all around the lineup.
Have you ever seen Vasily Podkolzin and Ivan Drago in the same room together?
I haven't.
I haven't before. Yeah. Asking the important questions here on Pregaming with Bordzy. Let's quickly starting goaltender report brought to you by our friends at Dog Patch. Down below us right now, it is bumping there as we speak Thursday nights. They got a delicious menu, but dude, come on the weekend for brunch. You've heard me say it a lot. I highly recommend it. The Eggs Benny go hard down there at Dog Patch, so highly recommend it. Keep it locked in their socials because they got pizzas of the week. They got burger of the week type stuff. They keep it fresh over there at Dog Patch, and we appreciate them dearly. Bert, throw it up for me. Tail the tape between the 2 goaltenders this evening. One, Tristan Jarry taking on Arturs Silovs. Former teammates, I guess. Tristan Jarry on the season, 261 goals against with a 908 save percentage and 2 shutties. Arturs Silovs, 8-6-8, 305 goals against with an 892. So this is Jarry's second time playing his former team. Obviously, played the Penguins earlier in the season. Stopped 26-30 in that game for an 867 save percentage. I feel like because he already did his game in Pittsburgh, he already had his video tribute. This one, I would assume, has a little bit less emotion in there, but hey, it is what it is. You're also going to be playing against former teammates, former friends. We discuss tendencies on Oilers Nation every day today. Like, yeah, man, is Sidney Crosby going to know the spots on Tristan Jarry? I like Liam then flipped it and he went, yeah. Or he knows the tendencies of Sidney Crosby and Evgeny Malkin. So you could flip that either way anytime. But I want to talk Arturs Silovs, right? Doesn't have the best numbers. He actually comes into tonight having lost 3 straight games, and that's a beatable guy here for the Edmonton Oilers tonight, especially now that I know Leon Draisaitl is going to be back in the lineup, and they will be rolling out 12 forwards this evening. Silovs, he gets his opportunity thoroughly, though, since he's joined the team. Stuart Skinner has taken the number 1 starter position by storm here for the Penguins. He is clearly the best goaltender. The teammates speaking glowingly of him, media members as well. I was showing Brett earlier, there was like a slow motion video of Sidney Crosby waiting for Stu to come off the ice, and he's just looking at him with such affection in his eye. And I felt good that maybe Stuart Skinner is being appreciated in Pittsburgh. Obviously, we're not getting that matchup tonight, but thoughts on Arturs Silovs?
Yeah, Arturs Silovs. I just remember him against 2 years ago against the Oilers in Vancouver, kind of relatively unknown coming up from the AHL, and he posted 3 wins against the Oilers and made some big saves in that series. So I've always thought he's going to be like a really good goaltender, but I don't know. He's been kind of, I don't know, as the younger people say, mid.
Ooh, fair enough.
Is that it?
Fair enough.
With the Pittsburgh Penguins.
I'm 30 as well.
Okay. That works.
That works.
Did that work? I think so. But yeah, I think he has it in him to make some really big saves. He's shown it against the Edmonton Oilers tonight. Like the Pittsburgh Penguins as a whole, we shouldn't take Silovs lightly either.
I agree with that. I'm just trying to see. I don't see confirmed Penguins lineups yet here on Daily Faceoff Live, but I do know.
I just got them.
Oh, my boy Bert is on it. Oh, well, okay. Well, okay, let's go now. We'll take a peek at them. The Pittsburgh lineup are brought to you by the Jasper Pond Hockey Tournament that is coming up this weekend. One of the best times we do all year. Apparently, I've never been before, so I'm popping my cherry this weekend. Going to be an unbelievable time. Very, very excited. I'm worried about how late I'm going to stay up on Saturday night because, Pangs, I was telling you, the Patriots play at 1 p.m. on Sunday. I got to make it all the way back to Sherwood Park by 1 p.m., which should be good. I think I'm going to try and get out of my room by 7:30. Something tells me that's going to be difficult, so I might need a couple Red Bulls or a couple coffees in the morning to get me going, but very, very excited. Do you do much ODR out there? At your age, see what I did?
Oh, yeah. I'm probably one of those embarrassing guys. I'm like, this guy's like almost 40 still at the ODR. I ODR quite a bit. Yeah. Work on my handles, work on my stick handling. Absolutely. I still ODR. You in one of the
Summerwood ODRs over there? What's your go-to ODR? I don't want to dox you, but
I don't know. It's right across the Lakeland, right by Summerwood. Yeah.
Okay, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Sure.
Yeah. I got one right next to my house. I go all the time.
Sick.
Now, we were having this discussion. Brett, you can put me on the full here for that. You don't need to. Jasper doesn't need to be associated to this. There's always one, and I'm a 30-year-old man. There's always one super annoying kid at the ODR. Oh, yeah. I swear. Oh, yeah. Hey, just wants to talk your ear off, do all kinds of stuff. The one by my local ODR wears a Phil Kessel Leafs jersey. He's, once again, better than me. He's better than me out there, and he knows it because he is mouthy and chirpy, and makes it interesting going out to the ODR. Shout out that kid. He keeps me young.
That's when you Scott Stevens a kid.
Okay, Jason Greger. Pull it up for me, Brett, what we expect to be the lineup tonight for the Pittsburgh Penguins, courtesy of Dan Kingerski. Top line, Ricard Raquel with Sidney Crosby and Brian Rust. Shinnikov with Tommy Novak, Novechkin, and Evgeny Malkin on the second line. Anthony Mantha, Ben Kendall, and Justin Brazeau. Then your fourth line, Connor Dewar, Blake Lizotte, and Noel Achari. Light up the stage, Wotherspoon with Erik Karlsson, who does make his return to the lineup. Shea with St. Ivany. Brett Kulak with Connor Clifton. Rock the mic like a Vandal Silovs.
I don't know.
Brett, I'm so confused.
I don't know what it is.
Ice baby, light up the stage, rock the mic.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm in on Dan here. Whatever energy he's given.
It covers the pens, though.
Tony Brar, step it up a little bit.
Wake up.
You don't have anything mentioned like that throughout it. I kind of mentioned earlier how Karlsson went out of the lineup, and that revitalized Chris Letang a little bit until he got injured. But now here we are, Erik Karlsson going to be back on the top pairing. He's had a big bounce-back season for the Penguins. Stats-wise, I believe he has 4 goals, 29 apples, 33 points in 49 games. But it's more than just the points. He has been very much improved in his own end this season. Once again, listening to the Pittsburgh Athletic reporter on Kevin Karius this morning, he's just talking about how frustrating Erik Karlsson has been for much of the last 2 seasons in Pittsburgh. But this is the year that, man, he's really stepped it up and found his game on the back end. Yes, he is older. Yes, those boots might be slowing down, but he's still playing pretty well, playing smart, and obviously will be on Team Sweden. I would ask you for your player to watch. No, let me ask you that.
Yeah.
What's yours going to be first? I have mine locked and loaded every time we play this guy. No matter what team he's on, he's my player to watch. But who's yours?
Mine would be Yegor Chinnikov.
Yeah.
Penguins picked him up late in 2025 in December there. And since then, he's been pretty darn good for the Penguins. In the last 10 games, he's scored 4 goals. He's kind of starting to heat up. Last night against Calgary, he absolutely sniped one. And word on the street is that he's really starting to develop chemistry with Evgeny Malkin there, fellow Russian, I believe. And then, so yeah, he's my player to watch tonight.
I'm going to pick the other guy in that trio. Tommy Novak, Novechkin, baby. I wanted to be an Oilers so bad. I just love the style of play that this guy does. 9 goals, 17 apples, 26 points in 49 games this season. He scored last night. He has 4 points in his last 4 games, to be exact. And I mean, you look through that lineup. We mentioned it earlier there, but so many guys in the bottom 6 have respectable goal production. Crosby obviously has 26. Malkin, he's doing his thing. Rust, 18. Anthony Mantha, 14. Brazo, 14. Ben Kendall, he's got 8. Ricard Raquel, he's got 8. Dewar has 11. Tommy Novak has 9. No shit, this team is 12th in the NHL in goals for, and it's a big part of it. They got plenty of offense, so the Oilers need to keep it dialed in defensively this evening, like they have for much of their last 4 hockey games. Quickly now, Bordzy's Bankroll called an audible here quickly during the show. Brought to you by Bet365, 19 plus. Please play responsibly. Whatever the moment, never ordinary at Bet365. Use the promo code NATION. What does that spell? Nation. Shout out tonight. Rolling with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, 1+ point as my first option. It is minus 220. He has 3 points in his last 3 games. He's back up on the top line with McDavid. Chris Knobloch this morning in his media availability, like he is always, speaking so glowingly of one Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and how well he has played as Connor McDavid's left wing, and that by the tone in his voice, we know the blender comes out, but the ideal scenario for Nobby right now is putting him on Connor's line because him, McDavid, and Hyman have been unbelievable. The second option, so it's going to be Jack Roslovic. I had, as you can tell, I didn't change the number. I had Jake Wallman in there, number 96.
Roslovic used to wear 96.
I changed the photo.
Confused by that for a second.
I changed the photo, and I was just trying to get it in and get it up there. Jack Roslovic for 2+ shots on goal at minus 135. It's described it beautifully to me.
Yeah.
He's on a line with Leon Draisaitl, who tends to be a playmaker. And when we've seen Roslovic in this spot, he's ripping off 3, 4, 5 shots on goal per night. Hope we like to ride with that one. And then I just went with a simple one. Couldn't really find anything that I loved. So I went Evan Bouchard, 2+ shots on goal. He's hit it 3 of his last 4. He's just under a point per game guy this season. I did have in my mind that Leon wouldn't be on the top power play for the Oilers and that maybe you need the booming shot. I was thinking Wallman. I was thinking Bouchard, but had to audible quickly. Still like Bouch for 2+ shots. Pangs, which of those 3 bets do you like the most? Is there anything you would like on Bet365? While now I rebet this with Roslovic.
I will go with the one that maybe I inspired you with for there. Jack Roslovic. He hasn't played on Leon Draisaitl's wing for a little bit here. He might be rejuvenated on that second line. He likes to shoot. He has a good shot. That spot there on the right-hand side next to Leon Draisaitl, that's his spot. He's going to be firing tonight.
Lance Kane says, I'm going with the original bankroll. Don't worry, I placed that one too, so I'm going to do this one as well. Responsibly, of course. Yep. 19 plus, please play responsibly. Brett, you got anything cooked up back there or anything that the folks should use as a plan of attack?
No, ever since the Bears got eliminated.
Bears got eliminated.
Okay. Yeah, I lost my Super Bowl bet, and I haven't opened my app since. So
fair enough. All right, then give me, boys. Wrap it up here a little bit quickly. I'm not going to lie to you. I have to pee so bad right now. Score predictions, anytime goal scores, chat. Play along as well. Where are we placing our money this evening? Who's scoring?
Oh, man. You know what? Let's go 4-0 Oilers. Who's scoring? Roslovic. Jarry's pitching a goose egg.
I like that. Against his former team. Second game in front of the Rogers Place faithful. Right. So we did do that on Tuesday night. Now, Now it's time to get comfortable. He figured out which starter's net is the starter's net today. So that's a positive. That's growth for one Tristan Jarry. Let's go. Brett, what about you?
I'll go 4-2 Oil, and I'll go with a Leon Draisaitl goal. Welcome back.
Yeah, I don't hate that one. Something about tonight, I think the top six could when I initially saw that Pittsburgh Penguins decor without Erik Karlsson in it, without Chris Letang in it, I started drooling a little bit. I was salivating because I was like, Oilers, home ice, last change against that decor. Now, yes, they're going to have Karlsson back, but you throw in Leon back into the lineup as well. The Oilers have been an under team lately, but I could see the dam breaking a little bit here against Arturs Silovs. We saw it happen in the NHL playoffs. Give him credit. He played the Oilers well to start. Took the Oilers a couple games to figure him out. And once they did, they cracked the code on one Arturs Silovs. For me, I'm going 6-2 tonight for the Edmonton Oilers. Point night, Leon's back on home ice. Let's do it. And for the anytime goal, Jack Roslovic. I think he's going to be ripping pucks galore this evening, and I think Leon might. Maybe his legs won't be underneath him as much, and we see that from time to time where he looks to be a distributor more than a play driver and shooter type guy. So, yeah, let's go with that. Let's put our money there. A couple people in the chat. What do we got here? Fighting Amish 4-3. Think that's going to be a close one. Brett, I haven't heard you yell overtime winner in well over a month, it feels like.
Somebody winning overtime, brother. Come on.
Somebody get the clutch gene already. Buff Snell to 3-2 Oil. Dry goal. Connor McDavid, 2+ assists. Final buzzer still on the under train. 2-1 for the Oil. Jeremy Lebrecht, 5-3 Oil with a Ryan Nugent Hopkins. Did you shed a tear on Sunday?
I did. I was watching from home. I was crying. Ryan Nugent Hopkins, I wasn't young enough to see the whole story with Ryan Smith when he was drafted and everything like that. But I was there from day one, and all the scouts with Nuge, maybe the next Gretzky. I was there from the day one to now. I shed a damn tear.
I said it feels different for our age group kind of guys that we grew up with Nuge. I'm sure that's I love Ryan Smith, but I was alive, but I was an infant when he was drafted to the Edmonton Oilers and wasn't totally comprehending the whole run that he had. But with Nuge, that's our guy. That's our guy.
You guys are both old too, so.
Are you 1 year younger than me?
Yep. You guys are in your 30s.
Damn it, I walked right into it.
I'm not, though.
Fair enough. That'll do it for us pre-gaming here this evening. We will be live for Oilers Nation After Dark at the conclusion of tonight's hockey game. Hopefully breaking down a W. Me and Menzies found a way to go 80 minutes after that thrilling 2-1 game on Tuesday night. Longer than the actual game itself. We'll see if we get there. We'll see what we get, but it's going to be a good one. Me, Brett, intern Tristan, behind the scenes. Everybody, bang up job. Love you all in the chat. Throw down your courtesy on your way out. Really helps the algorithm and helps push us everywhere. And then make sure you're subscribed. But if you're in the chat, of course, you already were. The voicemail line will be active for ONAD. I know we had some from Lance earlier today for pre-gaming. We didn't get to those. That might be a good thing. I just get filled with such anxiety when Lance gets voicemails.
I'm keeping them for After Dark.
Should we do it now or After Dark?
After Dark.
Okay, we'll do it on After Dark. Lance Kane, don't do me dirty, brother. Don't do me dirty. That'll do it for us here at pre-gaming. Good luck on the Bet365 Battlegrounds. We will talk in a couple of hours. Over and out. Good luck.
What's up, Nation citizens? If you enjoyed today's episode of Oilers Nation Every Day, make sure you hit the subscribe button here on our YouTube to not miss any of our content. We got you covered from interviews, insight, analysis, everything you need to stay up to date on everything around the team. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a video.